Trapping for real, I'm turning that 1 into 2 and that's off in the trap. These niggas not hitters for real, cause how you get robbed and you told you a strap. My mother, nigga try back me, I'm blowing them up, I'm putting them shots in his hand. Nigga.
YouTube, man, we back with another video, man, and today, man, we'll go right to another Hood War Stories, man. The title of the video is His Murder Caused LA's Deadliest Gang War, the story of Killa Prankster, bro. Now, this shit crazy, bro. His murder caused the deadliest LA gang war, bro. That's crazy, bro. We guys have in this joint, see what's happening, bro. See, you know, what's going on, how this started. So let's get into it. Alright, man, before we get into the video, let's get into the sponsor of the day, W Energy. W Energy is an energy drink brand that helps you boost your day by giving you energy and helps you focus. Now, they gave me the Dragon Lemonade flavor right here, man. It's pretty good. I like it. It contains no sugar, no artificial dyes or anything like that, man. It's 100% natural, man. So go ahead and tap into W Energy, man. If you want to get some, it's gonna be. I'm gonna put the link in my bio, man. Get 10% off and use code BP3.
Hood War Stories. In this episode, I'll be discussing the life of KP. Kenneth Lynn Peavy Jr. was born on November 15th, 1987, in Los Angeles, California. He grew up in the Westmont District, also known as the Hundreds. Coming up, KP had a wholesome childhood. He had a very close bond with his sister, and they were overprotective of each other. As a kid, he was passionate about sports. He played baseball and basketball, but football was always his favorite. He stayed serious about football until his sophomore year of high school, when his focus began shifting more toward the streets. At Washington High, Kenny was known to be a ladies' man and was very well liked. As a product of his neighborhood, he joined the original Block Crips, a branch of the Roland Hundreds. This group is one of the two original Block Crip gangs, as the name suggests. His integration into the set was organic, as he also had family ties within it. In the streets, KP took his gangbanging serious and was with all the activities. The initials KP originally represented his name Kenneth Peavy, but later came to stand for Killa Prankster, a diss toward the A-Train.
Brody start getting real active. Like, look at that shit. Now that's some movie shit for real. Brody, like. Brody. Like, what the hell?
Represented his name Kenneth Peavy, but later came to stand for Killa Prankster, a diss toward the A-Tray Gangster Crips. It's alleged he earned that nickname by using A-Tray gangster members as target practice while moving through their territory. He occasionally provoked them by posing for photos hanging out in front of their main park. It didn't stop with the A-Trays. KP showed up gang deep at the Inglewood courthouse, looking for border rats after they told him they were up there. The border rats are a clique of the Inglewood families. It was around this time period that Kenny stepped into fatherhood with the birth of his son. KP was a hands-on father who stayed deeply involved in his son's life. He supported Lil KP in everything, from mentoring him in football to showing up at school functions and making sure he was on the right track. Despite everything going on around him, being a father was something he took seriously. KP had different sides to him and wore multiple hats. As the main provider for his son, he understood the importance of creating multiple streams of income. One of his main sources of income included the distribution of lean, cashing out off pints selling lines at 45 a pop.
Hey, cuz, you niggas better stop charging 50 for this high tech before I get the tripping. Nigga, old hood, nigga.
Get y'all the tech, weird ass.
It's 40 a line. It really ain't supposed to be 40 because it's in abundance. You feel me? Nigga, you get it from anywhere. You better chill out, cuz. Get the pillin' out and stealing your juice on block, nigga, and I'm with it.
KP was known as an all-around good guy. His generosity was one of the main reasons he was so loved within his set. Many made money with him. He kept his people fed and looked out for everyone. KP helped build the Harvard Boys, which was composed of guys from his neighborhood pursuing music careers.
He was a genuine dude.
Although KP wasn't hesitant to get busy with a tool, he was just as effective with his hands. KP trained in kickboxing for years and never ducked a fade on anyone big or small. On his Instagram, he would post videos of himself knocking out rivals. As much as he was loved by his set, he was equally hated by his enemies, and he'd often take to his social media to antagonize them. A week before his demise, he'd post this video.
He'd be like, KP, I'ma smoke you. I'll be like, nigga, where? They'd be like, I'ma catch your Jesse Hood, smoke you. Nigga, where?
Before his murder, the beef between the Hundreds and the Hoovers was already hot, and bodies had been dropping between the two. With tensions already high, an OG from Hoover had been killed in mid-July. When the Hoovers or Hundreds get hit up, they strike back quick and with firepower. In the early hours of July 17th, 2015, KP was on Hobart and 109th. It was almost 1 a.m., and KP was apparently going to meet someone. He was in his hood, so he was comfortable and didn't have a gun on him at the time. A blacked out car filled with Hoovers rolls up, and KP knew immediately what they came to do. Fight or flight. He started running for his life. At least 3 men bounced out and chased after KP. With his adrenaline pumping, KP ran into a driveway and tried to hide in some bushes. But it was too late. They had him dead in the water. The first male closed in, ran down and fired multiple shots at KP while he was ducked in the bushes.
And he had a kid and everything, fool. Like, that shit crazy, bro. Like, that's why niggas need to leave. Like, we have a kid, bro. Leave that street shit alone, bro, for real. Because at the end of the day, when you leave this earth, bro, your family gonna be grieving, bro, for real.
He ran off. Then a second man emerges and fires a couple finishing shots at KP to make sure he was dead. KP would succumb to his injuries and was pronounced deceased.
Only about 10% of the world's population is left-handed, which makes southpaws relatively rare, and it could help to identify one of the shooters in an especially brutal, unsolved murder. These photographs of Kenneth Peavy are all we have to show you of him in the prime of his life. He was murdered on 109th Street east of Hobart Avenue in South Los Angeles. Kenneth and a friend stopped here to make plans to meet someone. A security camera was rolling at 12:45 in the morning on Friday, July 17th, 2015, when a car rolled down this with someone inside shooting at Kenneth Peavy.
He comes into view and then out of view of the camera right here. And then following him, we see the first suspect, gun in hand, chasing him as well. Once the suspect is just out of the flashes from the gun, and then that suspect takes off running back down the driveway this way. The second suspect firing 2 rounds, and then he also runs back down this driveway.
He's the left-handed shooter.
In the background, you'll be able to see a vehicle driving by, which we believe is a dark-colored BMW SUV. This BMW, and you see a 4th suspect on foot behind the BMW.
There was a lot of firepower and manpower used to kill Peavy.
You know, I think he kind of got caught up in a gang war, gang rivalry.
To the mother of whoever murdered Kenny, I'll just be praying for you, because you will surely meet this destiny yourself, whether it be him in prison or whether it be him murdered or something hurt on the streets. Some of the things he did I didn't approve of, you know, that I found out later about, but at the end of the day, he was a very good guy.
Kenneth's mother is part of a group called Faith in Action. It's headed up by Pastor Gary Williams from the Faith Unity Methodist Church.
There has to be forgiveness. If we want.
So Killa was raised right, it sounds like, bro. Even though, you know, he was in the streets or whatever, like, you know, he was, you know, he decided to jump up the porch because of his, you know, what he lived in. You know, all he seen was poverty, but at the end of the day, he had a mother who tried to raise him right. You know, he was in the sports, he was in the kickboxing and all that shit, bro. For real.
To change this community, we have to learn to forgive one another and encourage and love one another, regardless of what has happened. You know, we can't bring Kenny back, but what we can do is try to stop other mothers from feeling the same pain of losing their sons and daughters in the streets.
KP's death struck the hundreds to its core, and they made it known to everyone that it's wartime, promising to take 100 lives in the next 100 days in his honor.
That's crazy.
The declaration
Taking 100 lives because they took 100 life is crazy, bro. For real.
had the city on edge. And shortly after the bullets started flying, about 12 hours after KP was killed, Brian Perry, who was from the 8 Trays Back West clique, was at the corner of 97th and Normandy when a black male rolled up and started shooting. When police arrived, they found Brian lying on the sidewalk with a gunshot wound in his upper body. He was pronounced dead at the scene at 1:32 p.m. by Los Angeles County Fire Department paramedics. Less than 72 hours later, Sean Sylvester was walking on the sidewalk near 5th Avenue and 71st Street when someone approached him and started shooting, then fled on foot. Sylvester collapsed and was taken to a hospital, where he was pronounced dead at 11:41 p.m. Sylvester was described as a cool, calm, and collected person that was very likable and got along with everyone. It appears he was merely collateral damage in the chaos. In South Central, bodies were dropping left and right for the remainder of July and the entire month of August, and over 95% of them were black males. 100 Days, 100 Nights initially started with the Hoovers and the Hundreds, but other hoods would get involved and participate in the melee, and the violence spilled over different sections of the city. A day later, Darren Jones was driving with a lady friend near 41st Street when another car stopped at the intersection. A person inside then fired a large caliber weapon at Darren's car. Darren's car collided with another vehicle. He was taken to a hospital, where he was pronounced dead at 7:37 p.m. 3 days later, on July 23rd, 2 black youth and a woman were struck by gunfire. The shooting occurred on the 9800 block of Sonoran Street, and the assailant was described as a black male. A day later, a gang member was shot near Vernon and Hoover. He survived the attack. The very next day, around 4 p.m., Anthony was sitting in his Honda at a stop sign when a gunman in another car stopped alongside, got out of the car and opened fire. Anthony's vehicle collided into a light pole. He was pronounced dead at the scene at 4:15 p.m. The gunman drove away in a light-colored SUV. Police said they believed that more than one person was in the vehicle. It's alleged the attack came after a verbal confrontation at a gang member's funeral earlier in the day, about a mile and a half away from the shooting scene. An hour after that murder, a black male was shot as he sat in his car on 76th Street between Hoover Street and Figueroa. 4 hours later at 9 p.m., 2 men and a woman were shot and wounded by a man who stepped out of a car. All 3 victims survived the triple shooting. 15 minutes later, a black male was shot and wounded near 51st and Bud Long. The casualties kept adding up, as multiple hoods were shooting it out and settling scores. 100 Days, 100 Nights was among the first gang conflicts where social media played a big role in escalating the violence. On August 9, 2015, at about 12:45 p.m., Delshawn, also known as Tiny Goldie from 5 Deuce Broadway, was with his friend Thomas at a car wash. People were gathered in the area. Suddenly, a black male approaches and begins shooting at Delshawn and Thomas. Delshawn dropped dead on the spot, and Thomas was also shot. While both men were on the ground, someone at the scene snapped a photo of the two and uploaded it. The picture went viral on social media before detectives could even arrive on scene. Delshawn was pronounced dead at the age of 23. He left behind a then 5-year-old son, while having another child on the way. Thomas miraculously survived, but his jaw was wired shut for several weeks, with a diet consisting of blended chicken noodle soup and Ensure. He claimed
Blended chicken noodle soup and Ensure. Oh shit! Ah, hell nah. Ow. Nigga, what? Another reason why a nigga can never, be in the streets, bro. I be damn if a nigga shot me and I got you fucking, blended chicken noodle soup and Ensures, bro. I be pissed, bro.
he had left his gang life in the past. In 2004, Thomas was charged with murder and other crimes. Before the case went to trial, he pleaded no contest to the lesser charge of manslaughter. He fatally shot a man who he said was trying to rob him in Hollywood. Thomas would end up serving 9 years for the manslaughter conviction. At this point, the city was on fire, and that intensity continued for the remainder of August, making it the deadliest month since 2007. KP was well loved, but there are also theories as to why his murder set the city off. Some speculate his murder was revenge for the killing of Red Bang from 107 Hoover, who also had a name in his section. One rumor is that KP recorded his homies shooting a car up on 88th in Vermont the month before he died. In that shooting, G. Whitted from 8 Trays was killed. 2 other people were shot, but they all lived. KP's legacy is still being honored through his family and his set. His son is carrying the torch and becoming everything his father envisioned for him. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
That was a crazy video, y'all. But hey, W video, bro. That was the story of what was the name again? Killa prankster, bro. Yeah, bro. Crazy ass story, bro. Let me know what y'all thought about it in the comments, man. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. And I'm gonna catch y'all next video, bro. I'm out.